What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with some more news. Join us now as we look at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including a WWE champion injured, backstage frustration in WWE, WWE makes a major rule change, an AEW star shuts down a return to WWE, RYBACK defends CM Punk, Triple H's kid wrestling, 2 names depart AEW, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. But just before we get into the first story, we'd like to thank NORDVPN for sponsoring this video, as since WWE are still in Europe, SmackDown will be coming out a lot earlier than in the US. So if you're residing in the US and you want to watch it live and on your current Netflix account, you can do so via a VPN. Simply head over to nordvpn.com/Wrestlelamia and sign up today. Thank you guys for your continued support. Now let's hit the intro and get straight into our first story. Now first story looks at a WWE champion injured. Our top story today looks at concern when it comes to women's champion Rhea Ripley. WWE were forced to amend their live event match card in Spain last night. They would usually deliver a 6-person tag match featuring Ripley, Charlotte Flair and Tiffany Stratton versus Fatal Influence. However, it looks like Ripley was pulled due to an injury. Ripley would still deliver a run after a singles match between Charlotte and JC Jane, but she was seen with her knee in her support, which of course is rather concerning. WWE or Rhea Ripley has yet to make an official comment on her status, and we may know more information tonight on SmackDown regarding whether the injury is serious. Next up, WWE plans up in the air. Earlier in the week, it was revealed that the 2 current favorites within WWE to win the King and Queen of the Ring were Seth Rollins and Io Sky. Now, whilst these winners would make a lot of sense based on the stories told on WWE television, it now looks like WWE is undecided on the winners. According to WrestleVotes Radio via Fightful Select, the tournament winners weren't selected when the brackets were put together, and WWE reportedly has 3 winners in mind. King of the Ring is upon us. The winner of the King of the Ring gets a world title shot in the future, which is a major implication for the tournament. WrestleVotes Radio and Fightful Select have learned that the winner of the tournament wasn't decided when the brackets were announced. WrestleVotes is told that there were at least 3 names that were in consideration for the tournament to win. That'll be interesting to see who WWE goes with, especially when it comes to the King of the Ring tournament. For the longest time, all signs pointed towards Oba Femi winning the tournament. However, Femi looks destined to run it back with Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam in what could be Lesnar's retirement matchup. This leaves names such as Seth Rollins or even LA Knight, both of which have teased coming for Roman Reigns and the world title. There's also Jey Uso. Whilst not the most popular suggestion for a winner, WWE have now set up Jey being a potential winner of the tournament. On Raw this week, Reigns would inform Jey that he wants him to win the tournament and challenge WWE champion Cody Rhodes at SummerSlam. This is also an idea that names such as Bully Ray have since openly supported. Next up, backstage frustration in WWE. There seems to have been a lot of frustration from fans when it comes to the booking of 2 WWE stars. The first name is Dominic Mysterio, as Mysterio secured the biggest win of his career at Survivor Series when he defeated John Cena, and this marks Cena's final ever PLE in WWE, so it was a notable match to say the very least. But WWE did little to follow up this win from Mysterio, and he's barely been in any big feuds or matches since. The other name is World Champion Liv Morgan. WWE has already massively botched her world title reign, and she's a complete afterthought on the show, and she hasn't defended the world title a single time since she won it. Now, according to a new report from WrestleVotes via Fightful Select, there is an internal backstage frustration in WWE when it comes to the lack of direction of both Mysterio and Liv Morgan. Dominic Mysterio and Liv Morgan have barely been used on WWE television since WrestleMania. WrestleVotes Radio and Fightful Select reports that there's been internal frustration with a lack of direction for Dominic Mysterio and Liv Morgan since WrestleMania. The report adds the original plans for Morgan were to see a continued feud with Stephanie Vaquer. However, with Vaquer injured, these plans changed, and Morgan has been in limbo ever since. Original plans for Liv Morgan called for a continuation of the Stephanie Vaquer story. After Stephanie's injury, there was a little adjustment to keep Morgan a focal point of the show. There's been an effort to keep Dominic as an on-screen character even if there aren't matches there, but his usage is expected to increase as the company heads towards promotion of AAA Triple Mania. Morgan is expected to be more active on Raw, regardless of Stephanie Vaquer's status. Now, hopefully WWE gets their act together, as they're doing a massive disservice to both talents and something really needs to change. Next up, WWE makes a major rule change. WWE recently changed some rules when it came to wrestlers' in-ring gear. During Fightful Select's latest Q&A series, a fan asked about restrictions when it came to gear, and Fightful Select stated that recently new rules were implemented where gear must be approved before it's used. WWE has instituted some rules recently where gear is approved before it's used. I don't know to what extent or if there are any talent that are necessarily exempt from it, but I do know there have always been some restrictions on gear. It's unclear whether this is down to safety concerns or WWE simply wanting to control the presentation of talent they have under contract. Next up, an AEW star shuts down a return to WWE. Now it seems that Mercedes Moné has now made it clear that she is not currently interested in discussing a return to WWE, despite continued speculation from fans. After making a return to AEW Dynamite and securing a big victory, Moné responded firmly when a fan suggested they wanted to see her reunite in the ring with former WWE star Alexa Bliss and run back their match. But rather than encouraging the idea, Moné simply said, "Watch YouTube." This happened after Moné celebrated her successful AEW comeback as she appeared as the surprise wildcard entrant in the Owen Hart Foundation Women's Tournament and defeated Alex Windsor, advancing further in the competition. The former Sasha Banks has also previously expressed frustration about constantly being asked whether she'll ever return to WWE. It seems that Moné is happy where she is right now, and she seems focused on building her legacy outside of WWE. Next up, WWE quietly retire a championship. The WWE appears to have quietly ended the NXT Heritage Cup Championship, bringing an end to one of the company's more unique titles. Unlike many championships in WWE, the Heritage Cup was actually a trophy and featured matches fought under British round rules, a format that was inspired by classic UK wrestling. The championship was originally created for NXT UK in 2020 before later becoming a part of the main NXT brand after the UK division was closed. Over its history, the Heritage Cup helped showcase a different style of wrestling and gave several performers a platform, including inaugural winner A-Kid and record-setting champion Noam Dar. But the title's future became uncertain after it disappeared from WWE programming, with its last storyline involving Tony D'Angelo throwing the trophy off a bridge during his rivalry with Channing Lorenzo. It seems now that WWE has removed the Heritage Cup from its official list of active championships, with no major announcement or anything. Next up, WWE signing a huge star. Now, is WWE about to sign a huge name from TNA? According to Fightful Select, TNA World Champion Mike Santana is said to be a free agent this year, and according to the report, there is interest from WWE in signing Santana to a contract. Mike Santana is said to be a free agent this year. WrestleVotes Radio is told that there is interest from WWE's side in acquiring Mike Santana. There's also strong internal support from at least one member of the main roster, who said that his work and professionalism is highly regarded. They're told that while no brand is nailed down for Santana if he does go to WWE, but WrestleVotes claims that WWE would like him on the main roster by the end of the year if they land him. It's widely believed that Santana's deal expires in the summer, which means by fall, he could be a WWE contracted talent. Next up, RYBACK defends CM Punk. Did hell just freeze over? Well, photos of CM Punk working out have been circulating on social media recently, and there's been an inappropriate speculation that Punk may be taking something to assist his muscle growth. Dolph Ziggler's brother Ryan Nemeth mentioned on X, "I love that straight edge guys are like, nothing is ever going in my body ever except PEDs, which I'll be putting in my body actually very often because I do steroids, but of course that does not break my sacred vow. I'm more disciplined than you." But surprisingly, one of the names who has come to his defense is RYBACK, as in an extremely respectful and balanced Instagram post, he stated that not everything we see online is an exact representation of reality. RYBACK would then outright state that he doesn't see any steroid abuse present.
CM Punk, at 47 years old, has always worked out hard. I've seen him in the gym. He's always trained hard. As far as I know, he's always ate decent. On this, do I believe CM Punk has the best genetics in the world? I don't. On that, do I think he has horrible genetics? I don't. Maybe somewhere in the middle with all of this. There are multiple things somebody can do to improve their physique, even at 47 years old. Training in the 4 to 6 rep range, training heavier with this will add thickness to your body no matter what. And this has been a staple of my training for many years, along with higher reps as well. But that is an option. He could have completely eliminated seed oils from his diet, something I've done the last 5 months, and noticed a huge improvement in my physique and my metabolism and my ability to build muscle at 44 years old on this.
The former WWE star states that whilst TRT or HRT could be involved, it doesn't mean that he's abusing any drugs. RYBACK would also call out the body shaming that exists within the pro wrestling world, with RYBACK drawing specific attention to NXT style Mason Rook. RYBACK would finish the post by stating that he's happy to see Punk look healthy. Hopefully Punk now understands why it was inappropriate to label him as a steroid guy. Next up is Triple H's Kid Wrestling. Stephanie McMahon's latest podcast with Becky Lynch made for an interesting listen, as one of the topics discussed was whether Stephanie and Triple H's children have any desire to step into the ring. In a new revelation, Stephanie revealed that her daughter Aurora wanted to get involved in the wrestling business, and she even briefly trained with Natalya and Charlotte Flair. According to Stephanie, when the Vince McMahon scandal went down, everything changed, and now she's focused on getting a doctorate. Well, Aurora used to want to get into the wrestling business, and she even got in the ring with Natty and Charlotte. She rolled around a little bit, but then everything kind of happened with my dad and me leaving, and it was an awkward time. Like right in the time that she would have really been making a decision, so... And not that she couldn't. She still could, but her mind right now is on getting her doctorate in PT. Now, another generation of the McMahon family tree entering the wrestling business would have been wild, and it's a shame that the factors outside of her control stopped her pursuing her pro wrestling career. Next up, a wrestling legend will wrestle again. Mick Foley's AEW status has been a hot topic amongst fans this week. Foley has hinted at wrestling in the promotion, and Tony Khan has even stated that he's open to the idea. And now, according to Fightful Select, Foley has now made up his mind when it comes to wrestling again, and it looks like it'll be happening. Mick Foley is all elite. Foley has been asked if he will wrestle again, and has seemed open to the idea. However, WrestleVotes Radio on Fightful Select has spoken to AEW sources that believe that Foley had his mind made up that he would wrestle once more, and it will be in AEW. Now, in relation to who Foley would face in AEW, as we previously speculated, it looks like Foley vs MJF would be the plan. It is believed that if he got cleared, Tony Khan would be eager to book the match. We've long heard that MJF has pushed to work a program with Mick Foley dating back to before AEW even officially launched on TV. Now, of course, there's no guarantee that the Hall of Famer receives medical clearance, but Foley has worked hard to get into shape, dropping 100 pounds, and he's admitted that the physical fitness has vastly improved over the past few months. And finally, two names depart AEW. Now, final story today looks at the news from AEW as two names have departed the company. According to Fightful Select, The Butcher and Blade have now left AEW, and this is notable as the duo have been with the company since 2019. Two longtime AEW talent have left the company. Fightful Select Sean Ross Sapp has confirmed that The Butcher and the Blade have left All Elite Wrestling. We're told that the duo's contracts were recently up and AEW opted to not offer an extension. Butcher and Blade are effectively free agents and able to perform and sign anywhere. They've been in AEW since 2019. There's no news of yet in relation to whether WWE is interested in signing the duo. However, WWE have been keen to rebuild their stale tag team division, so potential signing couldn't be ruled out. But there you have it, folks, the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know. Be sure to leave your comments down below. I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.